On this episode of What the Net, a big YouTuber has found a place that you might confuse as heaven, a cheese theme park. But does it hold up to its name? The Fortnite World Cup winner, known as Booger, won over $3 million last week, but you won't believe how much he's getting taxed by the government. And LA real estate, they're now doing open homes with weed? Let's break that down on this week's What the Net. Hello and welcome to What the Net, where I break down crazy things on the net that I want to talk about. If you don't already know, my name's Jake Mellor. Thank you so much for being here. And obviously, if you haven't, smash that subscribe button down below. It'd be much appreciated. Now, I want to get straight into this first topic because I can't bear it anymore. I couldn't help myself. It's the cheese theme park. I found this on a popular YouTube channel, Sophia Nygaard. She does really cool videos. I'll link it below, so definitely go check her out. And basically, in South Korea, there's a cheese theme park called the Ismail Cheese Theme Park, I guess. Now, from these pictures, I know what you're thinking. This looks awesome. And I'd agree. But inside kind of looks like an abandoned village that got reshaped for cheese lovers. And so when researching about this park, I was trying to find a nice structure and a way to tell the story of how the park's laid out. But to be honest, it seems just like a mix of weird different things and there's no real way to describe it. So I'm just gonna smash through some of the highlights for you guys. So we have 2 cheese buildings, and one of them looks suspiciously like a giant Pac-Man. We have a cheese making class where you can make cheese and cheese pizzas. There's Sound of Music characters and Sound of Music sprinkled throughout the park, random Smurfs, stray cats, a depth perception museum, a small hotel in case you never want to be seen again, a slide, some European themed cafes, and laser tag. Oh, what's that? Sorry, the laser tag's in the park but isn't connected at all? Oh. Not laser tag. This looks like a Frankenstein-esque monster in a country where copyright laws, I guess, don't seem to exist. It seems like they just went to a warehouse and said to the guy, in Korean, "What have you got?" And they said, "We have a couple of Smurfs, some Sound of Music attire, and a large Pac-Man the size of a building." And that man saw the Pac-Man and thought, cheese. And he just rolled with it. I'm presuming the cats just came because their mascot's a giant mouse, and plus, I don't think they'd have the best health and safety laws. So I think the cats are just there to enjoy some cheese and hopefully catch a mouse. Now, I don't know if you'd really call it a theme park. However, there is one slide there, so I guess you'd call it a theme park. But I guess, does that mean the park at the end of the street where people deal drugs? I guess that's a theme park as well. Yippee, kids. So if you're ever in South Korea and you're feeling like something different, maybe go check out this cheese park. I would not recommend staying there though. But if you're not interested, that's okay. It's not your problem. I just needed to do one more cheese pun. Comment your cheese puns below. Next up, if you don't already know, last week they held the Fortnite World Cup, where Kyle, who is known as Booger, who was 16 mind you, won the grand prize of $3 million. And don't worry, I know what you're thinking. You're probably sitting in bed on your phone, scrolling through Uber Eats, seeing if you can afford that extra dipping sauce or a dessert. Well, sometimes life can be a bitch, because Kyle is going to have to pay over half of what he's earned on taxes. Yes, that's right, over $1.8 million he is meant to be spending just on tax. Now, I'm all for paying taxes. I enjoy having roads built, all things like that. However, $1.8 million? Damn, that's a bit steep. It's like if you owe me a bit of your burger and I ate 60% of that burger, you'd be like, damn, I kind of needed that burger because I was hungry. However, he's 16 and we're still talking over $1 million he's earned. And if he's smart about it, which I've heard that he is, he buys a house that'll hopefully appreciate in value, puts some money into a high-interest savings account, and doesn't go crazy like Logan Paul, I think he'll be fine. Still a bitch though. Lastly, I wasn't going to talk about this topic. I live in Australia, as most of you know, and so the laws are different over here. But real estate fascinates me, and the way that the LA real estate is adapting to legalization of marijuana in California, it's really interesting. And so this is coming from Business Insider. And so basically a company called Rodeo Realty, they threw their first cannabis open house. This wasn't in Beverly Hills, wasn't in Malibu, or Hollywood, and it wasn't at one of Dan Bilzerian's crazy parties. We're talking Sherman Oaks. This is kind of like an upper middle class family neighborhood. I know it from 2.5 Men because that's where Judith lived. I know that's a make-believe show, but it kind of shows the type of clientele that lived there. So this happened at a $3.5 million home in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles, where 100 guests gathered for an event called the Greenleaf Cannabis Laboratory. This open house featured so much cool stuff, including cannabis-infused chocolates, gummies, and other edibles, kombucha cocktails, vape pens, and CBD cream massages. Hemp plants and marijuana paraphernalia were also scattered throughout the house for people to be able to check out and use. Damn, after all that, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody bought the house because a leprechaun in the basement told them to. Oh, sorry, I wasn't meant to mention the leprechaun. Shh. Whoever purchases this property also gets to learn how to cut and cure their own cannabis plants, which come with the house. This was done in order to try and get rid of the stigma that's involved and wrapped around marijuana, even though it's been legal in California for years, for recreational use. I do also think they did this in a way to stand out in the market, which I think worked perfectly, because within 3 days it already had an offer, and within 2 weeks it was already put up for escrow. I love this idea for many reasons, but I personally love real estate. As I said, I find it fascinating, and I don't know anything about the LA market, but I know in a lot of markets, just in sales in general, you need a way to stand out and really push yourself in front of the competitors. And it seems that this is exactly what they did. And I also like how they're separating the stigma from bongs and tie-dye shirts to more business-minded people who are just trying to unwind at the end of the day. Not that there's anything wrong with tie-dye shirts. But hey, what do you guys think? Can you see this happening more in LA homes? And do you think there's a stigma still attached to the whole cannabis industry? Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, ring the bell. I've got videos coming out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, including vlogs, movies, and what the net. Make sure to leave a like before you leave the page. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, work hard and be lucky.